So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can increase your positive cash flow and your net profit margins for your e-commerce business. And this is off the back of myself co-founding an e-commerce business in 2013 with my brother. We left our corporate jobs and started a cold pressed juice cleansing company from our kitchen bench. That business has since gone on to do multiple 7 figures per year online. And I've also helped over 200 e-commerce brands hit record revenue months with my paid communities called the Ecom Blueprint and Uplevel Mastermind program. So this is something that has come up quite a lot, and it's really important, a topic to e-commerce brand founders understanding how to survive and thrive in the e-commerce world, because not enough, especially small or beginner e-com brand founders, understand this. And even it surprises me, the experienced ones too, that they don't consider positive cash flow and net profit margins. And so whilst they are there and they exist and you might see that they exist, sometimes people don't understand that we can control those levels, right? We might get stuck in a bit of normality, or this is just how things are and it is what it is. But if you can understand that you're in control of these things, you can progress further and faster because you're able to manipulate how much positive cash flow you have, how much net profit you actually have as well. Okay, so I'm going to go through some very practical things that we go through with our paid members of our communities and just give you everything that I know in order to help you with your e-commerce journey. One thing that's really important to understand with these two things, positive cash flow generally, and net profit margins especially, is that if you run out of cash, you're out of business. All right, unless you can inject obviously more cash in the business, which is only a temporary solution, you're not going to survive. And so this is where these considerations need to be really top of mind all the time. And that's why I just want to emphasize the importance of this video and give you some really practical tips. So there's two categories or two ways that you can actually increase your positive cash flow and net profit margins. The first category is increasing revenue. So one of those things that we can basically do is increase our price points. And so whilst you might look at this every 2 years, 3 years, sometimes I've seen people like have never touched their prices, you need to start looking at them every 6 months and understanding if there's an opportunity for you to increase. So rather than being reactive when you get a price increase from a supplier or postage increases or something like that, rather than being reactive, you need to be proactive. And that will put you in really good stead to be on top of your positive cash flow and also your net profit margin, so you can add more value to your customers and clientele. So by increasing prices, what you can basically do is you can use this as a marketing tool. You can say, hey, everyone in my community, past customers, my database, we're increasing prices on the 1st of July and get in before it happens. There'll be a nice influx of sales there, nice short-term cash injection. And then beyond that point, people aren't going to know. There's going to be new people coming to your site all the time and they wouldn't know the difference. The second thing you can do is increase people's average order values. Basically what that means is with the same amount of people buying actual items, getting them to buy more and spend more per transaction. And what that will do is getting the same amount of traffic, getting the same number of sales, it increases immediate cash flow and immediate net profit because people are spending more at the time that they purchase anyway. And so you can use things like upsells, cross-sells, anything, bundles, and you can use apps for these sorts of things to get people to spend more than they ordinarily would at the time. The other really good thing is free shipping thresholds, right? Getting them to go over the free shipping threshold because people love free shipping. The third thing you can do to increase revenue is basically increase lifetime values. That means getting people to purchase more over their journey, even maybe more frequently. So if they purchase once or twice or 3 times, whatever it might be, getting them to come back again, buy again, is going to increase your revenue, your sales. So it's 5 times easier, 5 times cheaper to get a customer to come back than it is to get a new customer. So naturally, as people do buy more and spend more over their lifetime, that is a massive contributor to positive cash flow and certainly net profit because you've already paid to acquire them in the past. So you can use things like email flows, SMS flows. You can use campaigns and offers through email and SMS, and obviously ads as well. And retargeting ads become really, really important in that aspect as well. The fourth thing you can do to increase revenue is increase your website conversion rate by having the same amount of inputs, same amount of traffic, whether it's paid or organic, and even sending the same amount of emails, whatever it may be, the same number of people coming to your site, increasing that conversion rate by 0.1, 0.5, 1%. I've seen some people increase their conversion rates by 3 to 4% that are coming to our community with what we obviously teach them. But understanding how that little thing can increase cash flow and obviously net profit is really important. Just imagine with what you're currently doing, if more people can convert, that you've already paid for, it's an immediate increase in your cash flow and the sales that you're actually making, obviously the net profit that rolls onto that. So looking at things like mobile optimization, load speeds, looking at simplicity on site, how easy it is for people to use your site, and then looking at factors like free shipping thresholds, but also, social proofing is a massive factor when it comes to people converting on site. They're always going to look for social proofing, whether it's reviews or UGC or that type of social proof. So website optimization is a massive component to increasing your cash flow and also your net profit. Another great thing you can can do is introduce pre-sales. So whether that's a new product coming in or it's a restock, getting cash up front from people and giving them an incentive or an offer to do so is really beneficial to your positive cash flow and being able to fund that next round of stock that you're actually ordering. So pre-sales are awesome. You can basically use apps, or you can just honestly sell them and let people know that it's going to be a couple of weeks or a couple of months, whatever it might be. Communication is really key there. But pre-selling is getting cash in your door up front for that restock. So that's a really great thing you can do for that positive cash flow. And then another thing is you can look at what we call commission selling. So getting other people to sell for you. Now, you only pay these people when they actually make a sale. So something like an affiliate, for example. And that's really crucial, because if you're only paying them on guaranteed sales, there's no cost if they don't make any sales. But what you'll do using other people's audiences is you're able to tap into their audience. They're obviously motivated to sell because they're going to make a commission. But something like that can immediately increase your revenue, because it's an avenue that you didn't have otherwise. And again, you're only paying for the sales that you guaranteed to make. So they're the revenue drivers, right? The increases in revenues. Now, the second category is decreasing expenses. And decreasing expenses are the fastest, most immediate way to increase cash flow and increase your net margins, right? So the first thing is operating costs. You need to look at your operating costs, if not monthly, like weekly, all right? Like whatever going to be the most convenient for you, but you need to look at it diligently, regularly, so you can say, do I need this? Do I not need this? Do I need the subscription? Do I not need a subscription? Like there's things that I would basically do religiously by looking at my Canva subscriptions, looking at other subscriptions, this, and this, because they just tick over. And it might seem like $5 here, $20 here, $100 here, but it does add up and allows for something else that you can put that money into. So looking at every operational cost is really important, and looking at it regularly. The other thing too is around people and contractors. So people are your biggest expense in your business typically. And if they're underutilized, if you're not getting the bang for buck from them, if you can absorb their role into someone else's, then you need to look at those options, because it's the survival of your business. If you're lacking cash flow, lacking net profit, no one's going to have a job at the end of the day if you aren't in business. So sometimes you have to cut off the arm to save the body. And that's what it comes down to when it comes to hiring people and letting people go, which is a necessary part of business survival. The second thing of decreasing expenses, looking at your cost of goods, meaning how much you're getting the stock for. So the first thing to do is look at opportunities for economies of scale. So that means spending more, right? But to get more volume at a lower cost per unit, meaning higher margin. So that means you're more profitable. It increases your net profit margin. Now, from a cash flow perspective, that means more cash outlay, right? Lowering cash, but it's that trade-off that we make. If you're looking at increasing cash flow, look for less volume, which means less cash up front. Sometimes that's again necessary to just get the stock in the door and be able to keep the wheels turning. And you can work on basically or balance both things at once and keep working up to supplying more cash to get better margins, but more economies of scale. And then the third thing you can look at is basically negotiating everything. Look at any utility, look at any subscription, look at any supplier or contractor, and just negotiate. You need things to negotiate. And one is you need reference points. Always have backups of suppliers or backups of options that you can look at. I have options and you're not my only one. Okay. And that's going to create negotiating power. And that's what kind of utility companies know. They know you can just switch on a dime. You should also do that with suppliers and with other opportunities that come up, is negotiate everything. And whenever someone says, or a supplier says, I'm going to increase the prices, do your research, do your homework, negotiate back and push back. Otherwise, move with your feet and change the source. But that's a really important part to reducing your expenses, is just to have the ability and confidence to negotiate. So look, that's what I want to go through. The two categories are increase revenue and decrease your expenses. It's really crucial to having more positive cash flow, freeing you up, creating more opportunities, more investment opportunities into your business. And then of course, decreasing the expenses in the same way, making sure you got more positive cash flow than negative, making sure you're making more net profit than obviously, negative. Okay. So look, I hope this was valuable for you. If you want to know more about what we do and how we help e-commerce business, you can click on the link below, get some more info. But if you like this video and it obviously gave you some value, some trigger points, then give me a subscribe, give me a like, and I'll really appreciate that. And I'm producing videos like this all the time. So make sure you have a look out for future videos. But other than that, thanks for making it till the end. Again, I hope it was valuable for you, and I'll see you in the next video.